Freaks, what's up, weirdos? It's Biggie here with you, the biggest weirdo, the biggest freak on the channel.
Hey, man.
That's Beard Fist. Words. This is World of Warcraft Classic Hardcore, and we are on our run to level 60. Yes, I am. On the Hardcore server, this is my third character. The first two tunes died really early on. One of them was just really stupidly running into the Barrens. The second one that died, I think, was doing something else. I don't remember. We're level 55. This is feeling like a good run, although we've had some damn close calls in the last couple levels, and that's my fault. I'm going to try not to do that anymore. I really am going to try not to do that. This episode, we're going to be slaying some Yetis and maybe some owl beasts. That's right. A couple of quests we're working on. Unfortunately, we have this horrible debuff called Festering Rash. All attributes are reduced by 22. Horrible debuff. Look what it does to you. It turns everything red, is what it does. Level 58. The boar's level 55, so I gotta keep that in mind when I'm trying to pick off these mobs here. This is much more doable, the level 55s. We should get a follow-up quest for this, I believe, to where we'll have to get like a pristine Yeti horn, and I think it drops from these patriarchs and the matriarchs. Hope everybody's doing well today. It's a Sunday afternoon for me. Got pretty far behind. Whoop. No, yeah, right. I thought I was pretty far ahead, and it turns out I was not far ahead. I had like no videos. I don't know what I was thinking there. So get caught up today. Gonna try to. I'm trying to release The Last of Us, the Fright Night series, every other night, which is usually those only come out on Friday and Saturday nights. But since we don't really have a lot else going on the channel currently, I thought, you know, why not? See if I can keep up. This guy's going to run right into us here. Let's get him out of the way. Come back. Got a lot of patrolling mobs here, it looks like. Okay, well, I'm just... I fixed my landlord's door. And she's just thanking me for it. No worries. She has a boyfriend. She's been with this guy for about a year, and that door has been broken for about a year. And I've wanted to fix it, but, you know, I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes, but I finally, I just bought the replacement. It's like the little gas cylinder was broke on it. It's so easy to fix, and, wow, a failed attempt on skinning? Well, I didn't think that was possible once you maxed out your skinning. That's okay. Anyway, I just bought the piece, and I fixed it. And apparently, it was a little bit of a problem with her boyfriend. Didn't like... Well, I mean, I don't know. I guess... She told me it was on, like, she had a honeydew list, right, on a whiteboard, and it's been up there since the door's been broken for about a year, and he's never fixed it. So it took 5 minutes to do. Like, it's so easy, and he just never did it. But now he's like, I don't know. He's butthurt that I fixed it, and he didn't. Yeah. So, I don't, you know, like, dude, I mean, fix it, you know? Like, fucking, just do it. You waited too long, dude. Like, the thing was just swinging, like, open, back and forth in the wind. It was usually always wide open, and, you know. Anyway. Also detailed her car. I cleaned up her car for her. I love to clean cars. I really do. I don't have my, well, I used to have like a buffer because the front of the car has like, you know, it gets the bugs get killed and they sort of get embedded into the, like the clear coat. You can buff them out, but it's really hard to just wash that stuff out. You kind of have to buff them out. And I want to do that. Why are we not getting these fucking Yeti furs, man? This is a little bit ridiculous. Okay. Well, I've killed this way more than 5 times. I see. So we were killing different types of Yetis. These are ice thistle Yetis, but I don't know how many we've killed, but we've killed a lot. We only have 3 furs. Hold on. Does this say... Does it name a specific type? No. Ice thistle Yetis. This is what we were supposed to be killing the whole time. Whenever a quest names a specific mob, you should focus on that one. Because Questy, as you may or may not know, it will basically... It might say, like, any Yeti is capable of dropping it. Not always, but just something to keep in mind. Got a feather here. 57. Let's get this guy. There's a patriarch. Maybe they have a better chance of dropping them. Actually, I don't think they drop them at all. Yeah, I don't think they do. Here comes the patrol. Let's get him up here in case he has some kind of like mage ability where he freezes the mob in place. I don't want to pull 2 patriarchs. There's another 57. I think after this quest, she'll tell us to get a pristine Yeti horn. She builds the mechanical Yeti, and then if we want, we can take it to Gadget Sand and also Ungaro Crater, scare her 2 friends, and then we scare a friend here in Everlook, and I think we actually get a mechanical Yeti. I think that might be how it works. Got a decent workout in today. It was triceps, but Did a little biceps as well. And a little... I did some forearm work. I don't do a lot of forearm work anymore, but every once in a while I will. The thing about forearms is you don't really need to hit them specifically, because everything that you do, if you're doing lat pull downs, curls, bench presses, shoulder work, you're working your forearms. In fact, Dorian Yates, I don't know if you have any muscle heads out there, or if you follow any of that. Dorian Yates is, they called him the English Bulldog. Back in the day, absolute beast of a man. You can look him up. I saw him in an interview with Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan, one of the first things he said was, look at your forearms. Like they were looking at when he was back in his prime. And Dorian said, I never did forearms, never worked them out. He said it was just from grabbing the bar, and he had massive everything. Massive everything. That dude is an animal. But you can tighten them up a little bit and give them some definition, and if you're into that sort of thing. We are, E. We're into that sort of thing. Forearm definition. Who's not into forearm definition? Wow, we did finally pick up a fucking fur. Well, let's focus on what we need and not the patriarchs. That also might help. Like, I keep complaining and I'm killing the wrong mobs, so... There's one. Let's give him a piece of fish. We're down to 23 pieces of the red gill fillet. I could fish it up, but honestly at this point, probably just buy it. I would kind of like to get fishing and mining up to 300 before we hit level 60. Just because, right? That way everything will be 300. Got 11 minutes left on this thing. Is he diseased? He still has it too. Yeah, he's got a little bit less time than I do. Shard-tooth mauler. There's a cave up here. I think it's full of the patriarchs, like the higher level ones, I think. I do recall the pristine Yeti horn also being a very low drop rate. But whatever. Pretty good XP, and we got a full entire bar of rested, so it's good for us. This is what I need to do, is be grinding quests and mobs out. Finally got some decent sleep last night. I may have gotten like 6 hours of sleep, which is, for me, pretty good. It's about the most I ever get. Which isn't you know, they've done away with, like, you need 8 hours of sleep a night. It really is, they've done studies. It's really dependent on the person for whatever reason. Some people need more than that. Some people need 9 hours or so, and some people, they're able to function just fine on, 6, 7 hours. It's just patrol. It's not. I think we got that patrol out of the way. Here he comes. I think that's him. Actually, I don't know if that's him. Double up. Yeah, we're getting them now. As of right now, it's a 50% drop rate on the ice thistles. So I think it was telling me I could kill them back here. But I don't think these are the ice thistle yetis. But we did get them. We did get some of the furs from whatever those mobs were. So I don't know. It don't really matter too much. Plenty of thick hide. Run through that fire trap, sir. Thank you. Get a little bit of aggro here. I do have a sting plus the fire trap. It's a little bit easier to pull. My threat's a little bit higher. But we're also using the jagged arrows, which do 4.5 less damage than the thorium shell arrows we were using. There it comes. I wonder how deep that cave is. I've forgotten if it's like a full cave. Might be. Maybe not. You think we could do this at the same time, but that's not how it works. No, Blizzard doesn't work like that. That's way too efficient. It goes back a little ways. I don't really know if I want to go in there, though. Although there could be some nodes in there. Look how messy these freaks are. Got ribs hanging out all over the place, skulls. Let's bring them over here because I'm too lazy to go over there and retrieve my stuff. Trying to figure out, this is an unusual cave layout. This actually might be the same design as the one in Dunmoreau that you go into as a gnome or a dwarf. There's Yetis there also. I think you have to get Yeti hides from that particular quest. Having a little water. So yesterday when I was in Las Cruces for the interview, you know, it ran like late and I had not eaten the night before or anything that day. So I stayed there and I got a little dinner. And I ordered this thing. It was like a tuna melt and came with like stuff. But it happened to be like the special or whatever. So there's a dessert that just came with the meal. And, you know, I don't really eat stuff like that very often. Although, because I was so hungry when she said it, I kind of did want it. I did, but I didn't, right? Anyway, she listed like, she said there's like 6 things I could get. She was going through them, and I was trying to pay attention, but... So I just picked the last thing that she said because that was the easiest thing for me to remember. Anyway, it was like a double chocolate cake thing with some kind of like whipped cream or something on it. And I told her if she could just put it in the box for me. So I brought it back here and then kind of forgot about it, you know, because I ate the sandwich and they had real potato chips, like sliced from a potato, and like they were baked. They were delicious. And I just didn't want the dessert. It's a fuck ton of sugar. I mean, that thing was like, it was big. It was a massive piece of cake. Or whatever it was. And it was in the refrigerator. And I took a bite of it today. Holy shit. I thought I was going to go into a diabetic coma. It was so fucking sweet, man. I don't know how people eat stuff like that all the time. I mean, it was just insane. It's just because I don't eat a lot of sugar, I think, is mainly what it was. But I think even for somebody who eats a lot of sugar, that thing was ridiculous. It was nuts. Shockingly sweet is what I'll say. So I had the one bite and I put it back in there. I don't know, probably throw it out. Anybody want double chocolate cake with a bite out of it? It's all yours. I'll make you feel like a dick while you're eating it. If you come here and eat it, I'll sip on water and have raw tuna. Not raw tuna, like tuna fish just out of a can plain. You just watch you eat it. Like, well, I don't want it now. If you're going to make me feel bad about it. Stop that. That's a joke. Eat what you want, man. Eat what you want. It's hard to train yourself to just eat food for the nutritional content and not the taste. If you're somebody who's, I guess the term is a foodie, if you eat because it gives you pleasure and, you know, it's like that whole thing, it's really, really hard to do to just eat something that doesn't have any flavor just for nutritional content. That's what a lot of people struggle with. So eating, you know, plain tuna fish with steamed vegetables and nothing else in it, it's, you know, you're like, that. You sound like a prisoner of war. Why would you do that? Because it's really healthy. I do mix cottage cheese. I say cottage cheese a lot. It's a great little snack, and it's really healthy. Just don't get the Don't get the low fat. Don't get low fat anything, ladies and gentlemen. Because if you look at the ingredients on a low fat item compared to the regular item, it's going to have more sugar in it. That's how they offset that taste. Because fat tastes good, believe it or not. And fat is essential to your body, as long as it's good fat, right? There's good and bad fats. You know, you want to try to avoid, you know, the saturated fat and the trans. You want the saturated and the unsaturated fats. But they are essential to your body. So, for instance, cottage cheese. You look at a cottage cheese container. You look at the regular container. I think it has a little, it's like 1%. There's some minimal amount. Missed it. If you look at the low-fat container, it's going to have way more sugar in it. Choose fat over sugar. Fat doesn't make you fat. Sugar makes you fat. Two more, man. See if we can get two more. Actually, it doesn't really matter. We're doing okay on time here, so we can kind of milk this quest. I thought we would see some owls over here, but I'm not seeing any. That was perfectly timed. His intimidation. He got the intimidation off, and then he got frozen. And so because he was stunned, the threat didn't change to me, which was good. Which is good. This is ridiculous, man. Just kills the sense of progression when the drop rate is so crappy. It's how I usually complain about it. I complain about it in many different ways, but I think that's what frustrates me about it is you feel like you're stalled out, like you're not moving forward, you know. So I've been having this issue with my cell phone for a couple of months now. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Well, it's not the cell phone. It's the data. It's the plan. I'm a cheapskate. I have the cheapest phone plan. Like, I had a plan that was $10 a month because I just don't use my cell phone. But it turns out, if I am not on Wi-Fi, I have no signal here. I don't connect to the network. And I've been dealing with this like on and off problem. Sometimes I can't receive attachments. But I really noticed it yesterday when I tried to leave the house. I was getting set, trying to get my phone connected to Bluetooth and all this. And, you know, there's not Wi-Fi, so I needed the network. And it just wouldn't. It just said no service. I couldn't figure out what the hell was going on. Anyway, I finally figured out. Well, I've not figured it out, but I've talked to probably 5 different people from tech support having me do the same thing. The last person I talked to today for about half an hour, it really makes you wonder how some people are in a tech support position. So I told the guy what the problem was. I was like, if I turn off my Wi-Fi, my phone doesn't work. Like, I can't get out to the internet. Any apps that require the internet don't work. I can't send and receive emails. I can't make phone calls. Nothing works. And so they're trained to repeat like this same thing over to you, which is a little bit aggravating to me. So he's checking stuff. He's checking my account. I have to give him the serial number, the IMED number, whatever that is. I have to give him the SIM card number, all this stuff, verify all of my information, which, by the way, I pretty much did already waiting for it to connect to somebody, and they ask you the same fucking questions. So I told him what was going on, and he's like, okay, let's try something. I need you to disconnect from Wi-Fi and tell me if you have a signal. So I was like, okay, well, I don't remember if you remember what the problem is that I'm having, but if I disconnect from Wi-Fi, we're going to get disconnected. And he didn't say anything. He's probably looking like, what do I say now? Like, what does the script tell me to do? So he just kind of fumbled around a little bit and then finally says, okay, I'll be right back. I have to check your account. He's not checking my account. He doesn't know what to do. And I'm not trying to be a dick. I really am not trying to be a dick. But I don't know. Sometimes stuff just needs to be escalated, right? Sometimes you're just talking to the wrong person. So he gets back on the phone. He's having me check other things. He's like, does your phone need to be updated? And so I go to system preferences and all that. And I'm looking and it says, well, it tells me it's currently up to date and I have the latest software version. And he goes, okay, can you check for updates? Okay, so this is what we're dealing with. It's like, okay, yeah, I'll go ahead and check. So I check it and immediately tells me, you're all up to date. There's no updates available. Okay, so that's done. And then he tells me again, he's like, so what does the network signal say? Not your Wi-Fi. What does your network signal say? And I said, none. There is none. This is why I'm calling you. This is the problem. He just was not getting it. He just could not, he just didn't know what the hell was going on. And I felt a little bit bad for him. But at the same time, like, this is like the 5th person I've talked to, and I told them all this before. Apparently, they don't keep tickets. There's no history of what's been going on with my phone, so I have to re-explain all of this stuff. So he goes, finally, he just goes, okay, I'm going to send you a text message. Because at first he goes, okay, let's shut your phone down and restart, and then let me know what happens. So I go, well, if I shut my phone down, we're going to be disconnected. And he didn't say anything. It's like, what is this guy doing, man? Like, so if I shut the phone down, then I have to call back and get a new person and go through all of this again. So he's really struggling, and I'm losing my patience. I try not to get upset with those people because they have a fucking tough job dealing. Customer service is not an easy thing to do. Anyway, finally he goes, okay, I'm not sure what's going on, is what he said. And I was kind of happy to hear him say that because I thought he would say,
congratulations,
I'm going to escalate this to somebody else. But he didn't. He says, what I'm going to do, I'm going to send you a text message with specific instructions, is what he said, on something you can try. And if it doesn't work, you'll get a text message. You'll get a text message after I send you this text message. And you can respond to let us know if it fixed your problem or not. And if it didn't, then you'll get an automated call back. So I was like, okay. So hung up the phone. I got the text message immediately, and it said, restart your phone. That's all it said. It said, restart your device. And then immediately after, there was a text message that said, did that fix your problem? So the answer was no, by the way. I was so fucking pissed, man. So those were his specific instructions. Now, again, I realize this isn't directly from him. All of this stuff is automated, I guess. I mean, I certainly hope he didn't type in, restart your phone. Anyway, I got so frustrated, I just fucking gave up on it.
Why is it that there's never a gyrocranatum lying around when you need one?
I don't know. I don't know why that's a thing.
These furs are perfect, adventurer. We're off to a great start here. Now that I have what I need to cover the mechanical moving parts, I only need one other thing. Well, actually two. 2 horns. The Ice Thistle patriarchs and matriarchs have the largest horns, so of course those are the ones I want.
Yeah.
That type of Yeti inhabits a cave to the southeast. There are plenty of them there. You shouldn't
What's
have any
interesting
problem
about this
finding
is
them.
I could have done this at
Remember,
the same
I only
time.
want the best looking ones.
Yeah.
No beat up or broken horns, please.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it is interesting that I could have done this at the same time. You could have told me to get what you needed, because clearly you knew what you needed. But yeah, you didn't do it. All right. Let's sell a few things here. Is there a repair freak in here? Should be. Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing?
Time is money, friend.
Yeah, I know it is. That's what you guys always say to me. Some of the craziest music is here. Wherever there are goblins or gnomes, it's usually Freak Town.
Have a good one.
As far as the music. All right, we're going to call this an episode. We'll get the Yeti horn next episode. A little bit of XP there, not too much. We're just going to keep using these jagged arrows for right now. I guess we get low, and we'll see if we can get some more thorium arrows, but there were none available last time we checked. But that'll do it. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. You guys and gals take care. Beardfist and I will catch you in tomorrow's episode.
Smell you later.
Peace.